Welcome to the first episode of the DNS podcast where we talk about everything sports, um, whatever is on Sam's mind. And every week, Sam is going to rant about Man United and how much they're annoying them. And I'm going to sit here like a lovely Tottenham supporter and be happy with rock and roll football, baby.
You know what, yeah? I think that's ridiculous mainly because this is the only season. This is the only season, yeah, where not really, but where you're not in the same boat as me. Yes, absolutely. This is the only season where you're not we're in different boats. Like the past couple of seasons, we have been pretty much in a similar position where we are both complaining about our teams. Do you know how many? If I check my iPhone records, do you know how many times you have called me because of your team? I beg.
Oh, Sam,
I think
yeah.
rock and roll football, man, loud up, man.
Rock and roll football. So, guys, sorry. Welcome to the first episode of the DNS podcast. So I want to welcome Sam, who's coming on to board now, where we'll be talking mostly about sports, maybe a couple of mad things that happened during the week, but we'll mainly be talking about sports, things that are going on in sports, and talk about whatever we can. And we're like, look, it is what it is. We'll have fun and let's get rocking. So, Sam, Manchester United. So, I said, what's going on, bro? I actually want to know what's going on, Man United, bro. I actually really want to know because obviously me and you have conversations about this a lot, and obviously I have my own 2 cents what I think is going on in United, but you have your 2 cents, and I want you to rant out to me. Let it all out today. Forget the cameras there. Just let it out.
You see, with United, yeah, I can give sort of three breakdowns as to the issues, because the issue at United isn't a straightforward one.
Okay.
The straightforward in terms of the fix, but like it's years and years of just incompetence. But what we're seeing now this season, anyways, we can split down into short term, medium term, and long term. Short term, what's doing us is injuries, realistically.
Okay.
Injuries, bro, is like there's a plague since we went to go and do that stupid advertisements where they did not to go and say we are outside now, to the devil. All of a sudden, injuries are just whoosh, just washed us. We began to hit, and it's hard. It's hard to play the football style that you want. Yeah, when the key players who have an idea of how to play it, who have played in it, yeah, aren't even able to play in the positions that will allow other people time to understand it and get used to it and adjust. It's hard, and in that regard, I give Ten Hag time. In terms of medium term, how I look at it, what is the rest of the squad doing? Like what with Hannibal. If I give an example, with Hannibal, yeah,
He's trying though.
he's trying, and not just trying, he's doing the simple things. And there was two moments here that I see, even on Twitter, that I seen my United fans just joyous about, and people couldn't really understand, and they were making fun of us here. But screw all of that. I loved it, and I want to see more of it. Is Hannibal received the ball in one half turn, simple pass, boom, kept it nice and straight and forward, kept the ball, progressed the play, and that was against Galatasaray, and then he hit into Bruno. The cross got blocked, but it was just simple in how we were just able to switch from second phase to third phase into the final third. I liked it. Then when the ball was lost, watching Hannibal and Mount track back, I nearly cried. I nearly shed a tear just seeing hunger. Like it's a very frustrating feeling seeing like players not really having bites. No, if technically, yeah, and tactically things aren't going well, then mentally and physically you have to make up for it. Like I'd watch like how much they spend on the squad and the type of quality of players and their past history, and I'm like, yeah, these should be technically competent and good players, like, but they just come in and they don't really they don't reproduce the way they have done so in the past, and that it also ties into what I'm thinking about long term as well at United. But they don't reproduce the reason why we even got them. Then I watch, like, for example, Newcastle. I see Newcastle just, for example, recent victory against PSG. That match, it was a pressing. Would I say pressing masterpiece? But it's a game on pressing, yeah, that would teach a lot of teams. Like, PSG got squeezed. That match, in terms of intensity, in terms of getting to your man, in terms of fighting for second balls, like dueling. I don't see that United, man, and that's very frustrating. It's one thing if you can't play. It's one thing if you could play the football, yeah, that a manager wants you to play, and we can see some bits and boom, cool. But if you're not doing that, at the very least, show some dog.
Yeah.
Show some. We're gonna go in. We're gonna go in hard. At the very least, we're gonna win the ball, and then we're gonna give ourselves time to find our feet. But no, And then long term, in terms of what's the issue, structure. There's the right now we don't know who really. Right now,
So me and you are always having this argument about United structure, and so my thing is, I think what it's been said a lot lately. What's making Man United look bad is Ange Postecoglou. Is that, like, Tottenham's structure has been so bad for years. We're talking, like, after the Pochettino, who was it? There was Tim Sherwood. There was Tim Sherwood was, I'm not sure, Tim Sherwood. Well, there was Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, Ryan Mason. Let's see, but then Ange Postecoglou came in, and it seems like nothing ever happened. Well, obviously that shit did happen, but I think what made United's one look bad is, like, Ten Hag came in last season or the season before.
Last season.
Okay, last season, and then, like, United were doing okay. He's finished in Champions League, didn't you?
Yeah.
He's finished top four, yeah.
Yeah, we finished third.
Top four. But, like, this season has just been bad. But I think the thing is, like, Postecoglou came in, and it's like he literally changed the whole club around. It's like you said, everybody has that one direction. Everybody has that one goal. Like, Daniel Levy wants attacking football. The top of the heads want attacking football. This guy wants attacking football. He doesn't want to spend a lot of money on players, but he wants decent players, and he's getting it. So I hear where you're coming from about the structure thing, because I was thinking about it the other day, and I was kind of like, nah. But then I kind of thought about it, and I was like, yeah, he has a point though. But my thing about Erik ten Hag is, I just personally feel like the players he has. Remember I said this to you, he has too many big stars, and you were like, what do I mean? Because Ajax didn't have big stars. You have to remember, Ajax have all academy players. Most of their players come through the academy. We rarely ever hear them buying players. So I feel like if everybody was on Ten Hag's part of, I don't need to buy 70, 80 million, 90 million pound players. If I actually develop what I have, I think he'd do a lot better than buying all the big boys. Because Ajax, Sam, he made this up. Remember that Champions League run? And then... But other than that, yeah, look at the amount of... Remember that season at Ajax? I think it was Ten Hag manager then.
Yes.
Yeah. Onana was in goal. De Ligt. De Jong. Hakim Ziyech. Van der Beek. Who else was there? The fellow like Tadic. Mm-hmm. They had ballers. These weren't players that cost them.
Blind.
Blind. Onana.
You said that one.
I said Onana, sorry. Who else? They had ballers. But what happened is, I looked at it like, this guy didn't go out and buy the best players. These all came from Ajax's academy, if I'm correct. De Ligt and De Jong?
Onana was La Masia, actually.
Yeah, but obviously, if La Masia, that probably they didn't cost him a lot of money.
Yeah.
Do you know, like I rarely ever heard Ajax go and spend that amount of money.
Yeah, right.
But then the structure thing is true now, because look what happened when he left. Remember, I was telling you, they're like 14th in the league.
Yeah.
Ajax, when have we ever heard Ajax being 14th in the league?
I swear, in the...
When have we... what? Never. So yeah, I want you to explain the structure thing from your point of view. And do you agree with the things I'm saying, or do you disagree?
In regards to what a good structure will lead you?
Yeah, like...
110%. Like, let's just even take it away from football in general. Let's look at business. There's a thing in the concept called tone at the top. You know, I'm using my degree here to kind of there's a thing called tone at the top, which is set by the leader, the CEO, and then it's adopted by the board, and it like has like a trickle down effect.
Yeah.
But it mainly comes from the person that's leading the company. What type of tone, what type of culture do they want to be based or built on, the type of environment that they want to be created
100%.
in their business. But that starts from the top, you know. And in terms of footballing, let's not even say Ajax. So Ajax actually have been renowned for having a very good structure. Brighton, in terms of comparing the structure at Brighton and comparing it at United, it's a million years apart. If people were, I was seeing this thing, people were saying that we should bring the Zerbi in, but if we get rid of Eric Ten Hag,
ETH.
man, and I'm thinking, yeah, you're a fool. Yeah, it's very stupid, and you're looking for a quick fix because you're looking for that quick dopamine fix that came from us when we were consistently winning.
Obviously,
as Alex Ferguson. But realistically, what Alex Ferguson had done, because somebody even said that I've seen a sort of a sentiment, whereas the Glazers came in and Alex Ferguson was still able to do what that was before the Raw at settled in. He was able to do he was not able to do it with them. He was able to do it with the fact that a cancer like that was growing. He was still able to find success there. I remember he said that thing at the time that there was no value in the market. The current ownership of the club don't understand, nor do they respect football.
Oh, they don't, because they use your club as leverage.
Anytime I say that they have not spent a penny, they was like, oh, but you spend this something. That's from what the club itself generates that they use. They don't put their own individual finance into it. They don't.
So did you hear the, I don't know, was it the Galatasaray match or something? They said like there's a roof in your night which is basically falling off.
Our stadium's in bits.
You know the funny thing is, and that's why when people are hating on Ronaldo for what he was saying,
there were some parts that you have to agree with.
Parts, there's a lot.
He came at the poor old lady that was working there.
Yeah, but that's a point though, Sam. There's no change. Sam, look at Newcastle now. Yeah, the minute they got in, I remember seeing. Was it when Tonali signed for Newcastle?
Right.
You could hear them saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to be getting new gyms. We're going to be fixing up our training grounds. We're going to be doing all this thing." Manchester United, how many Premier Leagues have they won? How many Champions Leagues? They've won 2 or 3 Champions Leagues. 2, 3.
Champions Leagues.
Yeah. 2.
It's 2. I think.
Okay, it's FA Cup, sponsorships, all these things. How have you not had enough money to fix a roof on your stadium? How have you not had enough money to fix the gym? How have you not had enough money to get proper new chefs in that will make more nutritious meals? How have you not had if we really look at it, Man United, all the sponsorship deals, all the shirt sales deals, everything should be a bigger club than Manchester City at the moment with the amount of money they make. Not that someone is thrown into the club they make. So I believe your owners are.
Yeah, I think they're one of the few in the Premier League that take money, that take dividends from the company.
Club,
yeah.
I think it's ridiculous, and I don't think that club is going to be sold because I mean, be honest, yeah. If we were in their position, it would be a fool to sell that club. You can't sell a club that. You can't sell a club that you can literally use as leverage to borrow. Like, what bank isn't going to hear? Oh,
no, they can't. I'm not sure. I think they're just about paying off the interest on the loan that they took out. But
the loan is still on Man United's books, though.
Yeah, it is.
It's like for $500 million.
But there definitely has to be some form of accountability. First place, I believe there was even regulation taken in place that was put in to stop what the Glazers were even did, because that in and of itself I think is illegal.
What?
To take out a loan and then to slap that loan on the asset that you acquired.
Arsenal do it as well.
Arsenal did it as well.
I'm pretty sure Arsenal do it as well.
I think they've made that illegal though. Now they've done regulation because, again, footballing is a very big business, and it's gonna bring in
millionaires business.
Yeah,
millionaires on the club.
You know,
like look at the richest club in Dubai had to buy Newcastle. Man. What's it gonna take to buy a top 16?
Blood.
Man, like we talk about Man United, Chelsea 2 billion.
What? How much did they sell for again?
2-3 billion.
Man, United are Glazers.
Do you believe United were 6 billion?
Huh?
Do you believe that's the problem?
That we're worth 6 billion.
Do you think-
We are not, in my personal opinion, yeah, we are worth however much those pricks want to sell us for. Realistically, that's how much.
But they
we're
have,
worth.
but they have the power to sell it for whatever they want.
Yeah, I know. That's why. That's the. So if me myself, yeah, I'm not an accountant. I'm not to be able to give you a rough valuation of what the club is worth, because you have to look at the finances, how much is generated. Actually, you have to look at the accounts.
But United, I'm pretty sure United do generate a lot of money.
We do.
Like,
we generally
lot.
do, but then to then sell it and what to sell it as, I wouldn't be able to give you an accurate evaluation. That's why I said it's what the owners.
But if we look
themselves-
at it, like Chelsea was sold for like 2-3 billion.
we're not. I don't think 6 billion is outrageous in my opinion.
Do you really think
6-7 billion pounds is outrageous.
for Man United?
I think
I don't think it is. I think the reason why Man United can be sold for so much is because the amount of influence they have around the world. Barcelona or Madrid, it's Man United next. After them too. What? Like, I don't think the Glazers have ruined everything Sir Alex Ferguson did for that club.
yeah.
And that's the saddest part of everything. Now, we can blame the Glazers as much as we want. There's also recruitment. That chairman.
That comes from it.
The recruitment, like, I don't understand. And the one thing we said, one thing I never understand about United is you bought Paul Pogba.
Right.
Before you bought him, undoubtedly top 5 midfielders in the world. He went to Man United, it's like his career was over. Daniel James was a good player for whoever he was playing for before. Swansea. Came to Man United, nowhere to be seen.
I think Daniel James was a bit of an exception in terms of, but I still think that when
I don't think he got his chance.
You don't think he got his chance?
I don't really think he got a chance like
To
that.
be fair, was there somebody close that to him that was saying that you'd play good, you do well in training, and then when it came to the match, you wouldn't be picked. As in the manager had his favourites, to be fair. So
And I believe that's a thing as well, Ten Hag, which I believe he has his favourites.
But wait, you have to think about it from the perspective of a manager. If you're saying, yo, I need this player here, and you're spending this amount here, that player must work. It has to work. If it, like, that's the thing with Anthony as well, that it's become a case of, those cases where it's like it's too big to fail type of situations. You spend £100 million on a player.
Was Anthony 100?
I think it was on rough.
I thought it was 60.
No, it was much higher.
I don't even see what the big hype about him is, man. I'm so sorry. I genuinely believe that Luke Shaw would do a better shift where he's playing than he would. That's not even me being bad, because Luke Shaw already has proved to me that he's very important to Man United, because he's adaptable.
Yeah.
When
he has pressure. I
believe Lisandro Martinez would do better than. I'm not being bad when I say this, because all that. Do you know what the problem with Anthony is? He's just so predictable.
Yes,
That's the problem.
Because he doesn't have a right foot.
That's the problem, And like, players have now had to start learning that. I can't always. Even I remember Kulusevski when he came to first time. He was on left foot. Everybody started realizing he had to start going. Okay, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah,
I have to start using my right foot, even though I'm not going to get the best crossing or whatever. Give it a shot. That's the problem with Anthony with me. Back to recruitment for a sec. I don't know how your recruitment policies work.
I don't think our own recruitment team knows how our own recruitment policy
Because
works.
it's like there's a player there for you to buy for. Even remember when what's his name? What's the manager before Ten Hag?
What's his name again?
Ole said that he wanted Haaland.
Yeah.
And Haaland then would have been dirt cheap, in my opinion. Obviously not like dirt cheap, but
He would have been like 40, 50.
he would have been acceptable price.
Yeah. For the quality of player.
They said no. But then who did they get? Harry Maguire.
Sure, we even popped Alvarez as well. We're supposed to sign.
Harry Maguire is not a bad player. I just don't think he's a Man United player.
Yeah, that's okay.
I just genuinely think. I don't think he's a team player for Man United. I feel like if he's playing for any top 4 team, it'd be like your Chelsea.
I don't even think he would be more of a top 4 team.
Do you not think?
I say he would, like, for example, if he had gone to West Ham, he'd flourish in that West Ham.
Yeah, I genuinely think he would.
I think there's just another thing. There's a style of play, in terms of footballing styles that he suits, and
like when he was at Leicester, that was perfect football for him.
every
Perfect.
Sure, it does express you well when there's like he's almost, I guess, protected in a way for, because like the point of a system is to sort of protect most people's weaknesses. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, not even just a system, but like system and good profiling of your players. You protect each of those weaknesses. And at Leicester, Maguire also had Ndidi in front of him, and defensively that guy is
Solid.
you know. So it's not even going to have to do. There's not a lot of heavy lifting that he's going to have to do.
Yeah, I get what
and
you mean.
I believe at the time as well, Leicester played a low block.
Yeah.
That suits him. He those type of defenders do very well in those systems. United, we're not playing a low block. Everything is pretty much front footing. So you need to be like a case of a Martinez, of a Rant.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. But no, like, I don't know. The one thing I've just never liked in football, in the sense that United do, is like, I understand you have your cut your losses on your player, but they're cutting losses like on every single player they buy.
Yeah.
Like, how can you buy Paul Pogba for 100 million and let him go to Juventus for free? Do you know they made 100% profit on Paul Pogba? Do you deep that? Because I'm pretty sure he left for free.
Yeah.
And you bought him for 100 million and he went back for free.
And then what happened with Juventus? Juventus are still in debt. So I needed to take a shot at them.
I swear.
I needed to take a shot at them. Nah. But in terms of Pogba as well, he was an attacking midfielder when he was at he played like a 10 role.
Yeah, he played Juventus.
At Juventus. And that's when we knew it was as Pogba. They brought him to United and they wanted him to play a different role.
CDM.
Wanted him to play a
different I never understood it.
And I think that also comes into understanding profiling, and at the same time, there's this one is a bit, but I think there's in terms of let's say football wise, there's a box, I guess, that we put certain players in based off how we perceive them or how they're perceived, and it's a very big I'd say it's a very big thing. For example, and Angel Gomez for United that we sold to Lille or Lyon, one of the two.
Yeah, for what, like?
He's a DM. He plays there for England right now. DM. But his stature and his size, if you tell that guy, or if you slap him into, let's say, as he's trying to make it up on in the lower leagues and everything, they will not play him CDM. They will slap him on the wing. Because they say, oh, you're small, you're quick, you're fast, yeah, boom, boom, boom. And it comes down to understanding profiles, and that players can actually, who may not be the normal or typical body type or height or anything for positions, they can play out to that type of position. You know? And
I get you.
that's what was with the case of Pogba. And it was stupid as well, because he sold Pogba the same year we signed Casemiro. So an actual DM to do the defensive work here, so that he can just go and create, we sold him that year.
I swear. But now, like, I think Man United have issues, which I think can be fixed. But I think Man United have to remember what made them. I think Man United have to go for a manager that nobody knows.
A manager that nobody knows.
Not nobody knows, but like, he's doing his thing. But like,
that was Ten Hag. It was doing his
I
thing.
think everybody knew Ten Hag.
I don't
everybody knew
believe for
Ten
a
Hag.
sec. Listen,
Bro.
you know what,
Bro, you have to remember, before Ten Hag went to Man United, he was actually one of the top managers to replace. And he was one of the managers they wanted to replace Jose Mourinho. You have to remember. So Ten Hag was known. It's not like maybe he's not a bleeding Antonio Conte or Jose Mourinho that their names can bring fear, but he was a known manager. You have to do what Brighton do. Go look for a De Zerbi somewhere. Take his
De
time.
Zerbi was also is to say that De Zerbi wasn't known.
He's not known, but he wasn't known as much as Ten Hag was known.
I disagree with that. I think.
Whoa.
Wait, hold on. Let me land.
Oh.
I think in terms of Ten Hag, as well. The reason why he came across a lot of people's radars was specifically as well because of that Brighton run. I mean, I said Brighton run, that Champions League run.
Yeah.
But by that, not much people can say prior to United that they were invested in it, but they knew him like that.
They weren't invested, but they obviously were looking at the leagues. So I believe a lot of us as football fans, let's not be stupid, we don't know most of these people.
Yeah.
Realistically, we don't. We go off. It's like when someone goes, Ange Postecoglou's coming to Tottenham. I was like, who? And then they told me it's Australian. I was like, huh? I was like, one kangaroo is gonna come to my club and be doing madness.
When they come for you now, when those kangaroos can fight too.
No, listen to
When
me. I know they come back. I all kangaroos. But then I seen him playing rock and roll football. And then I started hearing more about him, and I was like, okay, let's give him a chance. Hey, he won a treble in his first season? Like, fair enough, it's Celtic. Who can't win a treble at Celtic? No offense.
Wait, that's the same logic we play. Who can't win in Ajax? That 14th now.
Structure. I feel like, do you know the thing about Postecoglou is, yeah, and I'm surprised no one else picked up on him. If a manager is going to each league, fair enough to national leagues, and winning cups and trophies all the time, leaving the teams in good nick,
Yeah.
something needs to be seen. And I think that's the trends that people need to start looking at right now when it comes to football. It's like, okay, why do I need to go for the big name? Let me go look at somebody who has been doing good in other leagues and has been building his career up to the next level. Someone who's, I think, is going to be another big manager soon is Michael Carrick.
Yeah, true say.
I haven't been watching Middlesbrough, but I've been hearing a lot of good things he's been
Yeah.
doing. I've been hearing a lot.
I need to start tuning into championship games.
Yeah, I need to as well, because there's actually, we have to figure out there's Southampton, Leeds, and Leicester, and there's a few.
Southampton has not been doing great. I think they've won recently.
Yeah,
The past
well,
2
Leicester,
games.
Leicester are coming back up.
Man, straight back.
Leicester were like, we're not. Jamie Vardy was like, nah, I have to deal with some people.
Bro, James Vardy has just
Kelechi as well, though.
Indeed, he has fight his feet. Man, Dewsbury Hall is having a field day. He's having a field in the championship.
But no, I do believe Man United's problem. Ten Hag is a good manager, but I don't think he's a manager for Man United.
I disagree.
I just personally don't think he is.
Yeah.
Do you know, you may disagree, and okay, but we just have to see.
Yeah.
Do you know? But look, Sam's done with his ranting about Man United. Sam, obviously, when people are watching this, we're a bit back. But Liverpool and Tottenham, what a game! What a game of football! You know what pissed me off about that whole thing? People were saying that's the worst refereeing display they've ever seen in their lives.
I have seen worse. Absolutely
Dude,
seen
like,
worse.
I mean, I remember me, like, people realize me and Sam, we were talking about this on the phone for an hour. I think people need to realize there's no Tottenham fan out there who doesn't disagree that Liverpool are robbed. I think that's the problem with Liverpool fans. Like, oh, no, this and that. But like, for you to say you want a replay is the maddest thing I've ever heard. Because the only game that has to be replayed in football history, and I will say this and make very clear, is that Chelsea and Barcelona game, where that was the most corrupt game of football. There was players that were literally acting as goalkeepers that didn't even have a pair of gloves on. People who thought they were playing prison rule football. I said football. That game was a shambles. I'm pretty sure he got fired, that referee, or like he got in serious trouble after that.
It wouldn't surprise me.
But a lack of communication. Like, it was literally a lack of communication. Like,
Yeah.
And yeah, nothing against the PGML. That was disgraceful what they done. And I'm just speaking as a football fan purely. Like, that was a disgraceful referee. Because when you hear the sound, I kept thinking when he said check complete, he should have said it was onside. But he just said check complete, we're good to go, or something like that. He said check complete. And then, obviously, the referee was like, okay, so I guess it was offside. But my question to you is, should they have stopped the game again?
I personally think so.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think we've seen examples of where, despite the amount of time that's gone on here, the referee has still paused the play to look at the decision. The most in recent time, the most extreme example of that would be with United, where the full time was blown, I believe, and then we still got a penalty. Do you remember that Bruno scored?
Against who was that again? I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember the team it was against, but we had that.
Yeah, but the problem with this, the problem now is you have to realize VAR did not make a decision.
Yeah.
VAR to the referee, VAR have made the decision. So what's going to happen now is they've played the game. During that time they're communicating. Tottenham have scored. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So it's like, so how are you going to now go back on your own decision? That doesn't make them look good as well, because like you're going back on your own decision. It's like you've already made the decision. How are you going back on it?
I think
It's like if you gave someone a red card, and then you played the game on, and then you realize that everyone's meant to give them a red card after you sent them off, after VAR made the decision. Like, it just doesn't. So I get when your man said, "Look, we restarted the game. There's nothing we can do." Do I believe they should have said something? 100%. And I believe everybody, I believe all the Tottenham fans and players believe like that's a big fuck up. But my prayer is that now, just because I hope they don't come and do that again when Tottenham are playing, who they're actually playing now. I hope they don't come and do that. They like not revenge on Tottenham, but like
The
kind of
bad,
like
bad referees.
like just bad
Yeah,
decisions
yeah,
to kind of like
To
outweigh
even,
what they've
yeah.
done, like to make it look like, oh, Liverpool, this is thanks for you.
I don't even think they would do it accidentally. I mean, intentionally, they would do it accidentally more than
Yeah.
anything.
But like, look, at the end of the day, I personally believe there should be no such replay. I believe it was a big fuck up, so be it. And I understand Liverpool fans that want to replay, because I'm pretty sure if I was in their shoes, I'd be screaming for a replay. But I realistically know it's never going to happen. I have to be realistic with myself.
Okay, then we need to ask ourselves then, how do we change it? What's the consequence?
The problem, and you
that
know who
we're
you
giving?
blame to this? All these people: Liverpool, Tottenham, Man City, everybody. Let me explain to you why. Do you know? Apparently, the start of the season, all 20 clubs were asked to bring in semi-automated offsides, and a lot of them said no.
Oh, is there?
So these clubs are to blame. So when everybody wants to be blaming the PGMLO, no. People need to remember these clubs were asked to bring the semi-automated offsides, and they said no. So now everybody's saying VAR, but you were asked for it. Maybe they asked for a bit more money, and so what? A bit more money to make the game go faster, because we see how well it works. In PSG on Newcastle, I don't know if you watched it, there was a decision that was called offside, but wasn't offside. PGMLO, fuck them. VAR came in, semi-automated offside, showed it, bam, onside. We went on. Nobody was complaining. That's the problem now, and that's the only way I think the offside rule can be fixed. Semi-automated decisions. Why was goal line technology brought in after what happened in the World Cup that time? That Frank Lampard scored an absolute smacker of a goal, went over the line. They said it was no goal. Are you crazy? I could even see from the TV when I was wearing glasses that the goal was in. So like, I believe the decision they made this week was very poor by saying, "Oh, we're going to do this, do that." No, bringing the semi. The first thing you should do is like, let's start trialing the semi-automated and see how it works, and then we'll see. We'll review and talk to everybody. Look, this is our findings. This is what helped us. This is how we should move on. The semi-automated offside would work wonders in the Premier League, because I believe it would bring down the time wasting thing as well.
Yeah.
Because the amount of time that's been added on in games now is very crazy. And that's what I believe the best fix is for this. I believe all this, being clear on the decision we make. No, bring in semi-automated offsides. That's what I'm going to name this. Bring in semi-automated offsides. It will fix the game. The offsides will not even need to be drawn lines anymore. Yeah. Just stick the semi-automated on, happy days.
I think there's definitely something to be said about in terms of the refereeing and the VAR. Realistically, because even your manager said, he said it in the sense that, sorry, say that name again.
Postecoglou.
Yeah, because I keep saying your manager, just saying Postecoglou.
I think it's I just say Angie.
Yeah. It's also like he said that humans are gonna make errors, doesn't matter where. And you know what? I agree. Now, where I would like to add on top of that, because I don't feel like it's a complete statement, is that we need to reduce the amount of space for error that they can operate in, and absolutely bringing in that type of system is going to reduce it. At the same time as well, yeah, I still believe that there should be some responsibility that PGMOL. I'll just say Pigmol. Because that's long to say, man.
Yeah,
but I do think there's definitely some responsibility that they should be taking. But at the same time, I understand that those clubs may possibly take them for an idiot. You know, they can take them for, because especially with Liverpool leading the charge, a big top six.
Well, Sam, do you know VAR has benefited Liverpool the most this whole season? Have you ever seen that? Someone put a table.
Yeah.
Do you know who VAR has benefited the least out of the top six?
It's
Tottenham. So when people are saying Tottenham are paying the referees, I'm like, statistically, factually, every statistic there shows is benefiting Liverpool. Yes, one wrong decision and one big fuck up of a decision, which we all agree. Nobody disagrees. But the fact is that making it look like when Tottenham come to your stadium, it's a big derby or something. It's like, no. Go to PGMLO headquarters and start fighting with them. What do Tottenham have to do with it?
But yeah, they're actually trying to fight with them. But I don't think
the funny thing is, and Klopp sometimes needs to be very careful what he says. He's saying this is the first time it happened in that he's seen that something like that's happened. When Wolves whipped out that TikTok showing that one of their players were offside in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And he was marked onside. He was marked off goal, and he was marked offside when he was clearly onside.
Yeah.
I think sometimes Klopp just needs to learn how to speak and not speak.
Again, I understand as well because at the end of the day, like, we're human, so we're gonna push what we're seeing and how we're believing or feeling about the situation.
If I find out, I'm gonna have a bit of my research. If I find out Liverpool one of the clubs that said no to semi-automated offsides, I'm not gonna feel sorry for them.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, if the Premier League asks everybody, "Do you want?" and you said no, then you're the one causing your own problems.
Yeah.
You've literally actually said we want to add more time to games because sometimes drawing the lines, I feel sorry for these man because when we look at the lines, sometimes like, nah, this guy's onside, but he's actually off.
It makes it so much more easy, especially with Champions League, seeing the way they draw. Actually, maybe it's me that's not seeing correctly, but in the which match, Newcastle and PSG match, I don't think that goal was onside for PSG.
It was.
I was looking because I wasn't looking
at the semi-automated showed it. So the semi-automated systems basically show where the player was when the ball was kicked.
Yeah.
And it draws it out in a 3D diagram.
Yeah.
So there's no way it was wrong. And there is like the line it draws is like a proper line. But I think like because it shows the shadow, then it shows the player, then it shows the last defender. So I think the last defender and that player were literally like we're talking identically on. That's what I'm saying about semi-automated. You don't need to draw a line, Sam. It literally shows you 3D animations of players where they were at the minute the ball was kicked.
Yeah.
So that's why I said the problem's there. They're causing their own problems for themselves. And if I find a Liverpool were one of the people, well, look, that's on them. But look, at the end of the day, it's never going to be a replay. Like I think Jurgen Klopp is forgotten about. I think everyone's forgotten about it. But look, like I said, I genuinely believe semi-automated is the next thing we should bring in. I think it'll quicken the games up.
Yeah. And
it won't give... Then that's right. When they draw them lines so close, it's so pixelated. Just imagine it was a pixel off. It was a pixel offside and it could be wrong.
I don't think that's how that works, but I get...
No, because they have to zoom in so close to it and there's so many pixels. So how about if the pixels just looked a different color at the time? But look, that's a conversation for another day. Speaking of Newcastle and PSG, who do you think will win the Champions League?
I won't lie. In terms of who I think will even end up in the finals, let's not even say Champions League, but finals, Man City and Real.
Really?
Yeah.
Think Showdown Part 2?
Yeah.
That's going to be a game.
I think so. Because the way I'm watching Real now, because in Bellingham, yeah, it feels like, it looks like they found...
Ooh, that far?
No. I think I was just relying on the...
Okay, no, you're fine. Exactly.
But in terms of Real, it seems it's like they found their fits. Like, in terms of the system that they're playing here, they're playing like a diamond. In terms of and they have 4, I think, of the most athletic and technically brilliant midfielders in the world. I think that team has the most stats. Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Bellingham, Valverde.
Is Camavinga even Camavinga is a...
Well, Camavinga
plays anywhere. He just plays anywhere.
Bro, he can play anywhere. Then we have what's it?
Toni Kroos,
Modric. Did I say Valverde as well?
Yeah, he's a Valverde.
Who else in that team?
I'm talking about the midfielder or the whole team together?
Midfielders, just midfielders alone. So within that year, and
they have that former Arsenal player.
Can you go away?
I think people know what we're talking about.
I know the
Danny
guy. Ceballos. Yeah. Him as well. But in terms of what I would consider like top, like where elite teams would also go and pure him, those 6, those lot, and they have a great quality. And in terms of the system that Ancelotti is playing, it works brilliantly. And then you have a case of even then the striker with Rodrigo and Vinicius. Man,
do you know that's something I actually need to just throw back on there before we finish? I just want to go back like we was after that. Another man who brings good structure to a football club, Ancelotti, left Everton.
Real Madrid have a good structure in the first place.
They do, but I was saying the minute was at Everton. Everton weren't doing bad. You wouldn't hear Everton fighting for relegation when he was there.
Do you know what? That's true. He
And
brought
when
him, but he
left,
brought him play good players, but
and
that's
then he
true.
left, bam, what happened?
They brought in Frank Lampard.
Hey,
And, well, to be fair, Frank Lampard
I
didn't do a
think
bad job.
he's still good. Do you know what? Yeah, as much as I know we give that guy, I think he's gonna be. Mark my words, he's gonna be a good manager. But I just think he needs a bit more
Lampard,
experience.
yeah.
He'll be a good manager. I think, you know what's funny? His comeback is going to be crazy into football. He's going to, because I think the problem he did was going from Derby to Chelsea was just way too big.
Yeah, I agree.
He nearly got Derby promoted. People need to remember, this guy nearly got Derby promoted. Was it not because of him Mason Mount was now the baller he is today? You keep forgetting.
No, that's true. That's true.
You keep forgetting. That guy, they Mason Mount was a Derby for like a whole season.
The same Derby that Rooney managed.
Yes, the same Derby that Rooney managed. Now, Derby's problem was, remember that the owners messed up or something in the club. Now, that wasn't
they got the points deduction.
They got the points deduction. They got relegated.
Yeah.
And then, like, they were meant to get bought and they didn't. And it was just too much.
And then Lampard
I wish someone invested in Derby, you know. We have to remember, Derby were not a shit football team.
Sure. They were in the Prem at the point, don't they? Mm-hmm. There's been a couple of teams that have touched the Prem in my lifetime.
You know, Portsmouth, Middlesbrough. Like, we need to remember...
I'm even thinking Wigan. QPR.
Ipswich.
There's another team that's on the top of my tongue.
Norwich.
Norwich, them man are always up and down. I don't even watch them. There's another team.
Who was up in the Premier League for a while and then got...
Was Barnsley in the Premier
Reading.
That's definitely one. Reading. There's another team that they've been relegated bare, but they used to be in the Premier a lot. I can't remember.
So that's our weekly football topic. I think there's going to be a lot more crazy things that happen in the next couple of weeks in football, like decisions wise.
Yeah.
Who do you think, before we go to the next topic now, who do you think is going to be the first manager to get sacked?
First manager to get sacked.
Yeah.
In the Prem or just in?
Let's say in the top 10.
Top 10 in the Prem.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I don't think there's actually gonna be sackings like that.
Really?
Because we also need to take into account trend. Before there was a trend in which player power was at its peak, was really, really strong. I don't think that I'm not seeing a lot of that recently.
True. I feel you. But okay, let's take away top 10. Who's going to be the first manager is going to be sacked then?
I think.
Do you know why I think he's going to get sacked?
I think Daesh is going to get sacked still.
Maybe. I think it's going to be the Bournemouth manager.
You think so? Really? If he gets relegated or...
I just think he might get the sack.
I disagree. I think he's still doing...
I might think about the right team here. No, sorry, Sheffield.
Oh, okay.
I got confused there. I don't know why. Sheffield manager. I think he's the first to get the sack.
You know what? Yeah, that one actually... If they sack him, I think they're doing him dirty because Sheffield have lost their best players. I think their best player right now is even their centre back. I won't even try to pronounce his name, but
I don't think Luton will sack him. Luton they can't even get relegated, man.
They knew when they came up they are going straight back down.
Unless they have a crazy end to the season. Then nah. But off the topic of football for a while, there's a big fight happening next week, Saturday. Logan Paul, Dylan Dennis, KSI, Tommy Fury. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think about the whole influencing boxing stuff? What's your position on? Do you think it's ruined boxing or do you think it's helping boxing?
You know, and this is coming from somebody who I've been trying to get into boxing slowly but surely, trying to get into that UFC as well. But there's only so much time and so many sports.
100%.
But in terms of influencer boxing, from what I perceive, in terms of media, anyways, boxing has been mellowing now. The views and how much people have been investing in boxing and the returns, it's been dropping over the years, you know. And I think in terms of this influencer boxing, especially with how kids as well look and how much they rely on media for anything, it's definitely brought up more of the option. Of doing it. You know, because you're gonna want to do what you see your favorite influencer doing, and I think it's definitely in terms of bringing like a surge. I think it's definitely done that.
Do you think it's done good for them? I think my problem with boxing has always been when you put people who aren't as skilled as people who have been practicing their whole lives in a ring, it's dangerous. like life threatening.
Boxing, regardless,
The boxing is life threatening, but when people that realistically, they KSI, Logan Paul, yes, they've been training for a long time, but you don't know what they're doing. Like, how many times do we like when you see Anthony Joshua and someone else fight?
yeah,
You're rarely gonna hear people punching themselves in the back of the head.
yeah,
When you see these men fight and they're doing like dangerous things,
yeah. That's true.
it's like this isn't anything about because I don't like any box out of it. This is like you seen that guy, I forget his name. One of the girls told me his name.
The guy that kept getting hit in the back of
the
his
head.
Yeah, that one.
What happened? See,
man.
something like that. Now, fair enough, referees have obviously been warned after that. If you see that happen once, you stop it straight away. But like, these are people who it might not just take one box, son. It might not take a couple of boxes. Because for that guy who's kept going and going and going, this time it might just take one box. That's my problem with influence boxing. I have nothing against it, but I feel like there should be more safety regulations around it. Like realistically, all these matches we went head cards.
Head guards, you think?
If that influencer boxing ever happened in Ireland, man, if these men aren't wearing head guards, I'm not going to those. I'm not going to go watch or pay my money to see because that's just dangerous. That it just comes to a point of danger now. It's like you're not professional. The only man I'll see box out with head guard is Ben Williams.
Is who?
Ben Williams.
Who's he?
He's one of these Irish boxers. This guy can actually box. Like he can actually like he's been trained. And apparently there was rumors that like they were saying like he should have taken boxing seriously.
Oh yeah.
This guy can box.
Would you do boxing with someone?
The only way I'd ever box somebody in, if they all just went well and like we all got out there and everything. I'd only ever do it against one person, but I'm never gonna name the person.
Tell me off.
I'll tell you off camera. There's only one person I ever do a boxing match with.
I think I know.
And the only reason I do a boxing match with this one person is because if all these things I was doing went well, the storyline would be too great to turn it down.
I think I know it.
The storyline will be too great to turn.
I know the person.
I remember I said a certain sentence at the start, and it's like a saying. This guy does his own thing as well. We'll talk about off cam.
I think I know the guy.
The only reason why I say it'd be great is because we both, first of all, we're North London rivals. That's the main thing. Second of all, I feel like where we're both from, it's like, okay, where we're both from is like two places that hate each other.
Okay.
Third of all, I think like we both would never take shit from each other.
Okay.
I feel like we just always talk shit to each other.
Okay.
I feel like we could sell a fight.
Yeah.
But like, I'm going to be honest, he would probably sell the fight more than me because he's very, he's very like on. Like I'd be like more like, oh, shut up, we'll just stop talking. Like you'll do like that type of shit. But look, he's pretty big. He's doing his own thing, and like he is, and the person, I'm not going to say the name. I always watch his stuff, doing everything. But I feel like that's the only person I ever fight if I was ever to do that boxing thing because we saw that fight so well, I believe. But like I need to work hard on my shit to get my shit up there too. So that's on me. But no, I like the story. You know what thing about this influent boxing things with me though? I love the storylines.
Yeah, I like the drama now.
I like the drama. You know, Dylan fucking Daddis is a madman.
That guy.
Like, but he's in big trouble as well apparently. But he's mad.
Yeah, he's been harassing.
He's been harassing Nina Agadel, Logan Paul's fiance.
Yes.
I do think he's gone a bit too far with things.
A bit too far, man. He's gone far. I think for every day there was.
But I feel like whoever said Logan Paul's a bit of a bitch. Someone's harassing my girl like that.
But he mentioned his dad.
The minute I saw him, it was on site.
You just swung immediately.
On site. I don't like. That's why I said he's a bit of a bitch. Fair enough. It's like I don't even want to do that sitting down and talking thing. Chairs that don't throwing. Like remember Tommy Fury's dad when he just got vexed and he just started flipping. That's what I would have done. I would have thrown. I was like, before he said anything about his dad, right?
Yeah.
Think of how much you've had to irritate this guy so. Every single day, I'm gonna drop this. Even got to the point that Andrew Tate got involved and said, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. If this guy drops whatever he has, it's game over.
Man. That man,
for Andrew Tate, who doesn't even get involved in people's bullshit, to say that specific thing, it must be low key long. It must be long, man. But I don't think it's bad for the sport, but I think it's taken away the skill that we usually see from boxers away from the sport. I feel like when we watch it now, it's more for boxing. It's more for the storyline. It's like, because now if Tommy Fury beats KSI, realistically, I don't see a KSI and Jake Paul fight. But if Tommy Fury loses, then I see the KSI and Jake Paul fight. But then KSI will say that he has no reason to fight Jake Paul because he's bet the guy he couldn't beat. But realistically, the most skilled boxer of all of them is Jake Paul. He can box. I don't get twisted. Like, he has skill.
It's not Jake Paul. It's all Papi.
Jake.
I hate how I have to say.
Jake Paul and Saul Papi, they can box.
I hate how I have to say.
How am I going to be saying the Disney kid can box? But he can box.
But he's like, it's them ones there. Like, I also don't think that they are as unqualified as we say they are.
They're not unqualified, but I just feel like there should be more protection in for them. I feel like head guards especially.
That one I understand.
I don't like head guards because...
But skill-wise as well, I don't think...
Jake Paul is skilled. Jake Paul and Saul Papi are skilled. I don't think KSI is really skilled.
I wish I did more boxing and I fought longer to be able to understand.
I'm not a boxer, but when I watch people box professionally, to that can box, we're talking about the Mayweathers, the Tyson Furies, the Canelos, Triple G's, obviously, you know, when you watch complications of
that Inoue, I've heard of Japanese.
The Japanese kid, obviously the big daddy of all of them, Floyd Money Mayweather. When you see who's his boy, Gervonta Davis, you get around Garcia's compared to like some of these big boxers, like there's skill in this. These people.
Hello.
You know what I mean? Like, you're seeing what they're doing, and you're just like, yeah, I have nothing against you, what you're doing, boys, but like, it's just, I just don't think. I think you should just be a bit more protected.
Yeah, I'm never going to disagree with them having more protection, because at the same time they also haven't been training for as long as the professionals have as well. No matter how many training camps you do with like top class boxers, the time where you had to drill your body with the basics, you've missed.
Here it is. So I'm just keeping an eye on top of the match. 72% possession, 8 shots, 2 shots on target.
What's the score?
0. But before we round up, like, look, I enjoyed today's conversation, like, honestly, and I think it will be good. I don't know, do we do this on a bi-weekly or weekly basis? I think it's all up to you to me.
I say bi-weekly.
If you want to do bi-weekly, that's all good for me.
I say bi-weekly
because we have a lot to catch up then on. You know, we have to do bi-weekly.
I swear,
we have
to do quality stuff. Yeah, because I even wanted to talk about basketball as well. Because
you have to actually educate me about basketball. I actually want to do that because all I know about basketball is Golden State Warriors. I know Steph Curry, but. If you want me to do anything, I'll watch basketball. Give me a few games and I'll have a few.
I've even been trying to get into NFL as well.
No, that one is.
I've been watching collegiate football recently because I was seeing a lot of Deion Sanders on my For You page. I was like, okay, let me see more about what's going on, bro. I've been slowly but surely trying to educate myself on it. The thing that I'm still trying to just wrap my head around here is the tactics that how they play.
Yeah, NFL just seems like
there's tactics.
It's too tactical,
but I don't think so because football is ridiculously tactical as well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I'm like, it's just that I have to spend more time understanding it as well. You see tennis.
Oh, I can talk about small.
I want to get into tennis, man.
How I can talk about small.
I want to play tennis as well, but I need to find that way.
Yeah, but guys, look, we thank you for watching. If you got this far, I also want to make a small announcement. So basically, in the second half of the season, I will be running a fantasy Premier League if you can still set them up, and basically the winner, wherever you're from, will get the equivalent to what €100 is in
their own currency.
In our currency. So if you're in the UK, you'll get equivalent to what €100 is. The US, you get equivalent to what. I don't think you can do FPL in the US, but wherever you are, the world. If you have an FPL team. Hopefully we'll get it sorted by the 1st of January, maybe earlier. Whoever wins at the end of the season will win €100. Second place will get 50, and third place will get 25. But guys, look, we hope you enjoyed the first episode if you got this far. And if you want to talk about anything else, and I'll never tell anybody who this person is. I know, because if people get that fight, they'll be like, who does this guy want to, like, who would this guy fight? It's the only person I'd ever fight. I just feel like that fight going the way I think it would be huge. I believe if we all in Ireland reach where I hope we all reach, and we hit this, I believe that me and this guy, in football match, boxing match, it would just
Football.
make too much. Yeah.
How would it be in football? Like you bring your own team, they bring your own team.
I believe, genuinely speaking, I want to make this statement very, very clear before we round up. And if someone clips or watches this, I know the Sideman charity game is all about, I love the cause of it.
Yeah.
But if their boys ever think they're going to come to Ireland and play some of the boys who do stuff in this industry in football and even score more than 3 goals, they're very crazy.
I don't disagree. I actually don't disagree.
Because it's like, I know they have ballers like, your Chunkses. Yeah. And I mean people that just do, I don't mean, because I know obviously in music they will annihilate us.
In the music?
If they're ballers,
if
they're ballers that play, the music people that were ballers.
Yeah.
If they came to play ballers in Ireland that do music, they would annihilate us.
I disagree. Do you know there's more? I see there's more incorporation with.
Do you really think,
bro?
Do you think the English ballers who do music will beat Irish ballers who do music, or do you think the Irish ballers will beat the English ballers who do music?
I genuinely think.
Seriously?
Yeah, I think you can. I don't know.
Okay, maybe in YouTube, people that do YouTube, I think the Irish people will annihilate them. But I don't know about music. Because just remember, England is big.
Yeah, I know.
Like Irish people, we might have football. Like I know Officers was a baller.
Yeah.
I know that the guy Reggie was a rapper. He was a baller.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody else other than that. Like I personally don't know, but I'm talking about people who I know are ballers.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, maybe it's me as well. Because at the same time, I don't know that many musicians that even popped up. Like
if you remember, they were saying Alex Iwobi was bleeding. The guy that done, you're alright, yeah. Ask your mom, she's good, yeah. You want food, yeah. Hey,
come
to the hood, yeah. Well, no, I'm like that's it with me, man. I don't know. But like, look, guys, we thank you for watching, and like, we hope you enjoyed. And look, obviously, we have our other podcast which will come out sometime this week as well. And trying to be more consistent and serious here. So let's get the ball rolling. Let's get going. Thanks, guys. Have a good day, and unite your shit. Bye.
Manchester United.